But what about video games, Wooly?
Well, anyway, we do have, in fact, a week of video games too, alongside
Tell
that.
me about one video game, and
I
then
will.
maybe tell me about a different one.
Okay. I'll tell you about. Uh, man, like this. The density of the week now, I think, makes sense for some people in terms of just like as soon as I jump off stream, time to like get a snack and then sit down and get working on these other things because I threw out the VTuber project at the exact same time, are similar within a window of whatever, like a week
Mhm.
apart or so. So yeah, just overwhelming amounts of shit going on means very little going on in terms of my own personal gaming time. But what I did do on the channel was start Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Why Infinite Warfare?
That's the one with the space,
Fucking knew it.
and that's it.
I fucking knew it. I knew that was the reason. Cause I saw that happen, and I was like, oh, so well, actually, what I saw was somebody in my chat going, Woolie's playing Call of Duty. I'm like, okay, that makes sense after the Halo thing, right? It's like, yeah, put your ankle. You did the Half Life, you did the Halo. You put you're putting your ankle and up to knee, I suppose, into all these first person shooty guns, right? Call of Duty makes sense, and I just made the assumption
Mm-hmm.
along the lines of, well, he did the Halo,
Mm-hmm.
is that I would have clicked on your schedule and seen uh, or clicked on your stream and seen Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 1.
Sure.
And I saw Infinite Warfare
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
And then my brain said, oh, because it's space.
Yes. Correct.
And
And
that's pretty much, that's,
and
yeah,
so and
that's how it
so
went, didn't it?
far, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is my third favorite Titanfall game.
Uh huh.
So
Really? More than. I
yeah,
didn't like Titanfall 1 all that much, but that's because it didn't have that campaign.
yeah, no, it's my third favorite Titanfall game. This is how we do. And there was you weren't the only one wondering because today, and to date and every single day since, there's been some confusion as to like, wait, why not advanced warfare or whatever? And I'm like, hey, I said space, not spacey, you know, and uh in
Oh,
oh hey anyway,
hey,
more importantly,
that's wow.
the other ones all came and went and they did their thing, and that's nice, but I don't really care. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the space stuff, and I'm looking for the crazy dogfighting and the ridiculous asteroid jet jump space battles with grappling hooks and sniping um in orbit.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, does that not disappoint, because I've never seen like there's a whole thing to zero gravity, like sniping and jetting and grappling, that is unlike any other game I've seen with that, and it's incredible. And I feel really like it's definitely sad that like this is still one of the most hated, most disliked videos on YouTube of all time, is the reveal trailer for this game,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so not Call of Duty compared to what people expected and wanted and what
Which makes you go, oh, that's the one I want.
a
The
hundred
different
percent,
one.
a hundred
Yeah.
percent, 1,000%, but it's still one of the most disliked things ever. And it turns out like, we heard from people that were saying that like, yeah, I was usually playing every COD game with my crew, and my crew literally skipped over this one because they just went, fuck it, we don't want that. And so I never knew about how crazy this campaign was or how fucking good it got, because it was something that the friends all overlooked and shit. And I'm like, yeah, that's a bummer, man. But at the same time, like, I don't know, like, I get it. If you're here for, what Call of Duty usually delivers, then this is the waiter bringing you a completely
I
different
don't
thing.
know. That whole thing was so baffling because how do I put this? Like that series had like almost defined itself by uh, what do you call it? Setting jumps,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we got the World War II, and we got the World War II, and then we got the World War II, and then we get the World War II, and then we get the World War II, and I think we had Modern Warfare, and then we had the World War II. And then after that, it became, oh, it's Modern Warfare a bunch. And then it was like kind of the future. And then it was,
Advanced
hey, the
warfare.
70s.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, it kind of like, I saw that and it was like, oh, and Ghost was like, Ghost is the worst one. Ghost is just like kind of the apocalyptic future and it sucks.
But dog.
Um, but yeah. And so I figured that people would be more open to just the setting changes.
You would hope, but it turns out that's not the case. Um, it's a little bit like the sports franchises we were describing last week, where for the most part, the audience seems to be content with playing the hits and just make sure that there's enough fresh stuff happening in multiplayer, and you got yourself a fucking a COD. You got yourself a big seller. It's got its zombies mode. It's got all the features and bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I as a result, no one was asking for space. So when they got space, they were like, I didn't want dogfighting. I didn't want double jumps. I didn't want future
It's
energy guns.
it's
I wanted.
also it's also one of those things where it's hard to tell because as you're a person that does not play the COD Blops Graw multiplayers,
Yeah.
uh, there are games in which people just turn on those
Mm-hmm.
because of a section that you will never ever see. Like, God, what was the one? I think it wasn't Advanced Warfare. It was the one after it that I played. I think it was Black Ops 3 or whatever, that the multiplayer was just like a spamming shit fest. I'm like, wow, this is goddamn awful. Holy fuck.
Hmm. All I can say is, as an outsider, playing this game and getting this triple A ass triple I experience, uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's fucking incredible so far. And you got yourself a little like a BT equivalent. You got Ethan on your team. He's the robot with the soul of a southern farmer,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got some really fun to control, tight ass dogfighting. Like the
Oh,
thing in
right. There
me.
was dogfighting in that.
Oh, there's amazing dogfighting, man. Like the thing in me that loves X-wing versus TIE fighter, and a bunch of wing commander back in the day, like absolutely, like that part of my brain lit up because like it has really, it's like the ship you're controlling, it can really tightly turn, it can swerve past like obstacles, and like you're chasing down ace pilots. You've got a couple different things you can use, and you can change your weapons out and back at your base and fire missiles, and you can do that thing which is like the movie thing where you are
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
locking
The
onto
movie
a
thing, yes.
target. You're locking onto a target, and then you're swerving and tracking it behind it, and then you shoot your missiles, and then you hit it, and then you zoom past the explosion. You know, the movie
Is
thing.
it as good at that as Ace Combat is?
Ace Combat is dedicated to that,
Yeah,
so
the answer is no, because that's literally 85% of the Ace Combat
it's the
experience.
entire franchise. But here's the thing, though, right? What's different and what's worth noting is that Ace Combat gives you a bunch of different vehicles with different feels to them, right? This gives you one thing that feels really good and steers really well. So, like, everything in Ace Combat does not corner and steer as tightly as what you're flying in this in Infinite Warfare, because real planes can't do that, but space planes can. You
Space
know,
planes
so
can
the
do
hand,
all sorts of stupid shit
yeah.
within
So
space.
like in the sense that you're trying to get a realistic feel for, you know, pitch and yaw and all that stuff. Space planes in Infinite Warfare don't have to abide by those rules, and they don't. But in the end, you just end up with a really wacky, fun thing where you can, like, you've got to release chaff to, like, you know, deflect their missiles coming at you. But like, if you have enough of a distance and someone's like tailing you, like, instead of even going for the loop-de-loop or the full Star Fox one, like sideways 180, you can just rotate on the spot as you're moving, as you're thrusting in a direction, and just start shooting back at it. Like,
Okay.
it's kind of wild how you can pull that off and still not lose too much momentum, you know? Anyway, it's very, very fun, and I'm enjoying it. There
Was
was
Captain Price in that one?
I don't think so, but I don't remember anyone with that name. There's a
Sounds
Reyes.
like a fake Call of Duty game to me.
We've got a Reyes, so that's there. Yes, you can break physics in AC. You just have to practice to do that shit. All right, yeah, fine. No, that's, you know, again, I'm talking out of my ass here. I'm someone that doesn't have too much experience either way. But the point remains is that I don't know. I can give my best assessment of the question I was asked. I'm gonna say that in a couple of levels so far as well. Well, first of all, there's a map where you select missions, and then there's side missions and main missions. I don't know if Call of Duties usually do that, but I've been told that they don't.
Black Ops 2 did something like that.
Okay. So that's pretty interesting. You're looking at the solar system and deciding which planets to go to fight your battles against.
That's weird.
Space Jon Snow. And one of the ways that, like, some of those missions play out is like, yeah, so you pull up and you have to do a stealth mission in asteroid debris at a base located near the debris. So you have to stealth your way through these asteroids, hiding behind them, and then grappling hooking to your target, and then you space snipe, which of course launches your body in the opposite direction, and they get sniped out in space, and then you can grapple onto somebody and then do a QTE on them and push off, and then you have regular FPS controls, but left and right on the D-pad rotate you entirely so that your orientation can change. So if you find yourself upside down, you can take a shot and then float and then hold left or right on the D-pad and then change your orientation to go right back up or to match wherever you're being targeted.
Oh, somebody in the chat mentioned it. I didn't remember that Battlefield 1 was the game that came out alongside Infinite Warfare. What a clear distinction between those two rival franchises.
And I'm definitely also seeing more than enough people have let me know that, like, you know what, all in all, it was all right, but it wasn't that impressive / it was okay, you know, or it was like a low for the franchise in general. It's all uphill from there. And I understand if that's how you're feeling about it, but you have to also realize that for me personally, I'm picking the subject matter that I care the most about. So I'm going to care more about these weird space things, grappling hooks, boosting, and dogfighting, and the non-things that the other Call of Duties don't necessarily have.
You don't know what you care about because you haven't played every Call of Duty game.
That's true. That's super true.
You're like I mentioned Captain Price, and you were like, I don't think there's a guy with that name, and it hit me in my brain. Oh God, he doesn't even know who I'm fucking talking about.
But I do know what I do like, and
Captain Price is the shit, Woolie.
And the thing
he's got that big mustache.
I believe you. What I'm trying to say is, like, I'm being told, no, you don't. You won't like. There's other things you will like more and other things, and I'm like, maybe. But I'm telling you right now that the space sniping I'm describing, the dogfighting I'm describing, the robots I'm describing, and the overall sci-fi nature of this plot are the things that I'm loving the most about it. And that makes me happy, and that's the reason why I'm playing it. And I would definitely, out of curiosity, poke my head in at some point to see what was going on without those things. But those things being there puts it higher on my list of interest. So don't overestimate necessarily like what this might be for me versus what it might be for you. We're different people, you know? That's all I got.
Yo, you can shoot a UAV out of the sky in Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer, man.
I fucking took
That
out a
shit was crazy.
I took out a space dreadnought in orbit while like fucking swerving around it. And then like the space sniping mission I described, you then land and then you go inside the ship and then you take out some more dudes and then you pull into the space plane and then go into that dogfighting section, right? On
Call
foot
of
as
Duty
well.
is-
Sorry. I was just
No,
gonna say
no,
on foot as well, because I keep talking about those things. There's like some really cool shit that I enjoyed where it's like, okay, you have your tactical option where it's like, okay, you've got your grenade button and this, you know, future grenades, you've got the whatever trackers and all that shit. But then you have the thing that's like, yo, shield. You can pull up an energy shield and walk with it and Reinhardt dudes, you know, while shooting from behind that. And I'm like, that's pretty rad. And you can also do hacking.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like check out a like a group of enemies, hack one, take it over, shoot everybody, and then, you know, detonate that person and things like that. So yeah, I was in the end, I was just like, that was pretty fun. That was pretty cool, man.
There's something that, because I haven't played all of the Call of Duty games. I've played a good ass amount of them, and I'm having what I saw happen to other people more succinctly here than I did when you were playing through Halo. And I'm trying to figure out a way to define this emotion for you, because
Sure.
when you describe, hey man, I'm playing Call of Duty, I wanna see. I mean, you didn't say this, but I assume you want to see what the fuss is about this franchise that you've never touched, right? And that was obviously the case with Halo. There's this weird feeling where you're always talking about the campaign, where at some point my brain goes, yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What about the real game,
Yeah. Okay.
the multiplayer?
Sure. Well, guess what?
And all I can put it into an analogy is where somebody's like, hey man, what's your favorite Guilty Gear character? And then you show them your lore video.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I meant what character do you like to play?
Yeah.
Like it's like a different planet.
I hear you. And by that, you know, you see the important thing to remember here is that I'm let's playing these games on the YouTube channel. So these are LPs that we're going through. Every one of these first-person shooters I've played has been an LP of the story mode, not multiplayer.
Oh, obviously. No, I'm just talking about it in terms of discussion.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about what I'm doing, what I'm playing, which is the LP. You know what I mean? Like, that's at the end of the day, that's the subject matter that I have the information on, which is what I'm going to talk about. I can't talk about that which I don't know. What I did say is, I believe that there's no actual zero gravity maps or gameplay modes in multiplayer. I think
that would be crazy.
That would be nuts, and I kind of would love to see it. That was my first thought about multiplayer.
That's called Lawbreakers.
I would like to see what that game, that game put that into the multiplayer, because it's a bit of a, like, it's an opportunity you have in this one game, and then you're not going to have it after this. This is the only time you can have some fun with it, so why not?
Do you remember, like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, there kept being, like back when game trailers still existed, this sentiment kept coming up over and over, which was, can we just goddamn buy the single player and multiplayer Call of Duty experiences as separate games?
I do
And
remember that.
Activision kept going, LOL, no. Um, and the reason for that is, like, now, like, it was always apparent, but now talking to you, it's even doubler, more apparent
Mm-hmm.
in terms of, like, I could go either way and did so on several games. I knew like 10 people, maybe 20 or 30 people, actually, now that I think of it, that would play every Call of Duty as it came out. And the first thing that they did from COD4 onwards is there's an option in the menu that you can have the game boot into the multiplayer options
Mm-hmm.
so that you don't even have to see the campaign button anymore.
Okay.
And vice versa, I knew a couple people who picked it up, played through the campaign, and then immediately sold it because all they wanted to do was play the campaign.
Right.
That fucking franchise has like 100% two audiences, like completely different audiences.
It's like Sonic. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm playing the game for let's play purposes.
Mm-hmm.
It would be very different if I had a bunch of friends that were like, "Oh, yo, come, we're gonna jump on and play this, and let's go through this whole multiplayer suite and like experience this side of the game and stuff like that." And I start putting in that sort of time, but like my entire reasons for picking up from the jump are not that,
Yeah,
so
they're. Mhm.
like again, it's there's a bit of a different factor here from the standard, like grab it with your friends, go play online, play multiplayer, get into that for a while, and then eventually drop off or whatever the case is.
That's where you heard that guy with the crying baby in the background,
Yeah, yeah.
and who was like, "No, no, it's fine."
um
That's where that guy lives.
and I mean, this is self-evident when I'm like playing it and streaming it and like doing it as for like on the channel and stuff like that. When I'm talking about it as, hey, what'd you do this week, then it's easy to kind of forget the context that I'm playing it in, but the context is everything. It's very important to the discussion.
Come to think of it, so that whole argument over the multiplayer versus the single player became even goofier when the zombies mode became really popular,
Mm-hmm.
and people wanted that one by itself also.
I mean, I booted it up for a second. They put a lot of work into that too, right?
They did. And it became clear that, like, you're never going to get them separate. But the solution that Activision hit on was, well, we'll try and include all the modes. So maybe you'll like two of them. 2 for 3 isn't bad.
Right. I mean,
And then they made Warzone, which is just like, Fortnite.
yeah. Looking at what, at that main menu and just seeing like, oh yeah, man, 3 big old modes there. I was just kind of just like, yeah, okay, well, I know which one I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly. And yeah, if you were here for another one and that's what you're kind of paying attention to and that disappoints you, then like it's super clear and obvious why, this kind of was the least well received, right? Or I don't know if it was least well received, but it was one of the least well received Call of Duties. But anyway, to more to the point, is just in the campaign, so far so good. Very very much fun with the wall run, very much fun with the abilities and the tech and all the fancy new futuristic stuff. And yeah, I'm just reminded of how close it was released to Titanfall 2 and how dumb that was. Why that just absolutely shouldn't have been the case, considering that's not a regular shooter, and that these two things are so close to each other with this. And I'm pretty sure, like, if we go back, I don't know,
Feel
we
so
like,
bad for Titanfall.
yeah, if we go back to like the reveals of these various Call of Duties over the years, I'm pretty sure that like when we first saw the trailer for this one with the double jumps and the crazy space shit, that I actually was like, oh whoa, what is that? Holy fuck! Like
and then
I
it was
remember
like, it's Call of Duty, and you're like,
I remember from the jump when we saw that, I was like, wait, they're doing what? What's all this Titanfall stuff I'm seeing? And that was already something that like stood out in my brain as a point of curiosity. So I'm coming back around to that question mark, and so far so good.
Does this mean after Infinite Warfare, you'll be getting to Killzone? Because that's all space war.
Clearly, that's the next place to go. If
As
not,
somebody who's played every Killzone game,
Lawbreakers.
don't play any Killzone games. That's my advice to you.
Yeah. No, I wasn't necessarily planning on it. Thanks. Cheers. But yeah, that's the CODU. CODU. And
Wait,
CODIW.
that is awkward to pronounce.
It is a little bit weird to. It's not even like COD, you know. Yeah.
It's not COD Blops, I'll tell you what.
No, and and you know, listen, if you're out there and you're already writing the message to be like, hey man, after this is the COD you should really get it. Just stop. Don't send it.
Oh, well, I mean,
don't send it. I don't need to know what the COD is.
Guys,
to get into after
don't
this.
worry. You don't need to send it. You don't need to send it because we're doing it right now. So it's Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, and the first Black Ops.
All right. Well, I promise
That's
you
the list.
Well, I promise you I'm going other places. So this is a temporary stop off in space. For space. And then I'm going other places. But cheers.
I saved you from that message. I saved you.
I already got 5 of them. Like you didn't save me from shit. I'm saying it because they've already been coming in all week.
I saved you.
People have been stepping up to the plate to be like, let me be your Call of Duty fucking Sherpa, you know? And I'm like, I'm really good. I don't actually want one because this is not...
That is...
You're interpreting my curious peek in the doorway as a decision to commit to a length of games that I promise you I will not be doing. So just pipe that excitement down.
Sherpa to the most mass market annual franchise that exists. Like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Because it's a thing that they
if you really want to fucking play Call of Duty, you got to go back and play Medal of Honor Allied Assault, because that's really the first Call of Duty game.
I mean, it's we know what this is. We've been over this. I know this thing. I know it really well. I've played it for a long time. He doesn't, and I think if I can get him to know it and like it the way I do, then that'd be cool. That's the end of the thought. And God bless, but it really is not a declaration of entry into the COD franchises. It's not. So,
to be fair though, when you did all those Halos, you did set a precedent.
Yeah, I did for Halo, because it was Halo.
Oh, you think no? Oh, come on.
Yeah, but no, this is.
I mean, if you really want to keep that Halo train running, you got to do Destiny 1 next.
Yeah, exactly. I bought and played Destiny 1 for a bit. I already
super did.
I had to delete it from my Xbone to make space the other day.
Yeah, I remember being baffled that you even had it.
I totally played a bunch of Destiny 1 and then I was like, I'm good. I had my fill. But yeah, that's all. This is a pit stop.